Hey yo, Speak Music Radio and I Speak TV. This is your boy Chris Conscious. I'm just that dude. I'm sitting here at the what is this? Purpose.
It's the Flame concert.
It was a Flame concert, man. Look, this is the Clear Sight. This is the Clear Sight crew. They brought fire. I mean, it's hot in here. I'm still sweating. You know, that's why I got my hat on, because I got a lot. You know, my forehead kind of big and everything. But I just want to say, man, these people brought fire. Brought the fire of God.
We had a good time.
People, man, we had a good time. And one thing I just wanted to say, man, I knew that God blessed this concert, because even before you guys got on, somebody was just outside getting saved.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
That's what y'all saw when y'all
I peeked. That's crazy, man.
But yeah, so let's get on with these questions. I'm gonna say it like this to all you guys: what made you first realize you wanted to pursue music as a ministry?
I think for me, first, it was the way music impacted me. So I grew up, music just had a certain emotion and a certain type of connection that no other experience could give me. Not school, not friendship, not preaching, not movies. No other format could give you what music does. So just experiencing music myself made me want to give that back to people. So I started writing music in 5th grade because I wanted to give that back, you know. And then eventually, when God got a hold of me through Christ, I'm like, now I got this newfound love, this newfound joy, but I still like music. Let me bring them together so that I can still perpetuate that same experience. So that's what it's been for me.
Awesome. Definitely. For me, it was just starting out. It was fun. You know, it was dope. I love rapping, getting creative on the microphone, coming up with hooks and verses, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. And just got saved. I met Jesus and he just rocked me. But what made me pursue it as a ministry, I wrestled with that. Because when I first started doing Christian rap, I still didn't know if I really wanted to do it. I didn't know if my motives was right or whatever. But basically I had a drug dealer came up to me and he got a hold of my CD from a crackhead, to sum up the story. He got my CD from an addict in exchange for crack. And he listened to it for 2 weeks straight, came to a church, got baptized, quit selling dope. And when I heard the story from him, his eyes, he was just mean looking dude, he was just crying. When I heard that, I was okay. I was like, I'm gonna do it.
Awesome.
Wow. Well, I actually started singing when I was 6 in church, and God told me when I was 6 that this is what I would be doing. And so I remember running and telling my mom, you know, Mom, I'm gonna be a singer, I'm gonna make an album. And I knew that I was talented, like most of my life, and started writing music for God and stuff like that. But it wasn't until I really accepted Christ into my heart. I was 16 and I was in a service and my mom asked me to come up and worship, and I was so scared because, you know, it was different than what I usually did. And as soon as I just lifted my hands and began to sing, it was just like the Holy Spirit just convicted me, and I really, you know, that's when I realized that God gave me this gift for Him and not for myself, so I could be talented or I could get the glory, but that He gave me this gift so that other people can be saved and ministered to. And I just remember everything changing from then on. And you know, now, I mean, look at what we get to do. It's amazing. So
okay, considering that you guys had this great call to music, you know, it feels good to be amongst musicians, because in this room where, you know, I'm a gospel rapper too, so you guys know, you know, this is my side job. No, this is my real job, but you know, it all coincides.
Absolutely.
But I know that when I was coming up, being a musician, you know, I was always just told, you're playing in the church, period. You know, so when I pursued music as a career, I went to school for music, I got my degree, stuff like that. You know, I had, you know, people in my family saying, what are you gonna do with that? You know, so what would you say was your biggest challenge in pursuing music?
I think I came up in an era where Christian rap was still taboo amongst our main audience of supporters. And so it was strange that a lot of people in the church didn't support it. But it was understandable because we grew up in a community that I grew up in. People saw the onslaught that hip hop brought to the hood, the negative effects. So all hip hop isn't bad, but there are aspects of it that ramshack the hood. So then the gatekeepers of the church, they know what that did to their sons and their nephews and their nieces and their daughters. So they didn't want anything to do with it. They like, keep that hip hop madness away from us, you know. So I came up in that era. So that was probably one of the biggest challenges, was showing them, man, we really care about people, and we really just using this music as a tool to connect with people on a level that probably this won't, you know what I mean? So it was really an opportunity for me to just kind of plow away at making that, you know, a staple thing in the church. So that was one of the biggest challenges.
For me, you know, I think it was just trusting God. It was hard, you know, as I got older, and you know, people start to say, okay, well, is this really going to work for you, or you need to, you know, think about other things. And for me, the things God was telling me to do seemed crazy. You know, work on my album, don't do any concerts, don't, you know, reach out or do anything, but just work on your album. And you know, I remember people, you know, telling me, why aren't you doing anything? You know, you're falling off the map, stuff like that. And I was just like, I gotta believe God. I gotta trust God that this is what He told me to do. And it was right around, you know, a month before we finished actually producing and writing my album that God sent Clearsight, and my album was ready to go, you know. And it was just amazing to see God, you know, really come through, like you said, and to prove everybody wrong. And so now it's even, you know, a challenge now to continue to trust Him when He says things that just kind of seem crazy or don't make sense. But I have that past experience to know that what He says, He's gonna come through and do it. So just having faith still.
Yeah, I had a crazy, because I was in college. You know, I was in college the past 5 years, working on 2 degrees, like business stuff, and I was doing music. So all I did was college, music. I didn't have a job, and at one point I was living in my studio, just making music, traveling locally, doing stuff, and my friends was looking at me kind of weird, like, you know, you need to get a job, you know, you need to handle your business. But I was okay. I was content with being poor and doing ministry. And when God opened up the door to travel and tour, flame and do ministry, like V said, it just, all the naysayers were just hushed, like wow, like God was with this boy, and we don't know what He might do now.
Yeah.
Okay, I had a follow-up question. So you guys pursue this music, and it seems like you love what you're doing. Was there at any point in your career, was there a time where doing music for the world was more alluring than what you're doing now?
Let me see. More than, I don't think, I probably wouldn't say in comparison to that it was more alluring then, because I think now it's just a different experience. It's a greater joy. Like, it's crazy because we just had a chance to, I ain't gonna say the person's name, but we was kicking it with some famous person. If I say his name, everybody in the world will know who he is. Right. And so when we were with this person and people saw him, they just lost their minds. Like, oh my God, it's him. And they wanted to take pictures and get hugs and stuff like that. And V Rose was with me, and they didn't necessarily know who we were all the time, but they knew who he was. So they were super excited, but it was crazy because we were thinking like, man, like what we do it's a different type of joy, because when people would come up to us, the comments were different. It wouldn't be like, oh, I love what you do, it's so fun, it's so, it would be that, but it would also be for us like, man, you guys changed my life. I heard this song and it helped me understand what God wants from me. It would be these deep, soul-turning comments, you know what I'm saying? So so the allure to do it for God is that much more greater, because it has value for now and for eternity. But then the other allure was real too, you know what I mean? But it just was short-lived and didn't give you that lasting joy, you know what I mean?
That's dope. That's dope.
For me, it was interesting because, you know, I was 15 years old, 16, and I was actually touring, doing secular music, you know, traveling in different states, and it was all I wanted. All I wanted was to be famous and make money, chase women, all of that, the whole lifestyle, smoking weed, getting drunk, partying, and that was I just wanted it. And when God convicted my heart to quit rapping, it was a battle. Like, it was a serious war going on in my body. And I remember one night I was in California, I was in LA, and I was sitting on the beach, and my manager took me to Beverly Hills. She was showing me the houses, like, this could be yours. It was kind of like Satan took me to the mountaintop. It was like, I'll give you this. And we were riding around downtown LA, and you know, you seen the Ferraris and the nice cars, and you're like, man, this is tight, this is dope. But as the week went on, it's like everybody had money, and it was kind of like, this would get boring eventually. If everybody out here got money, it don't really mean nothing. But I remember sitting on the beach, and I was praying to God, and I was like, God, I can't walk away from this. Like, my heart wanted it, and I was like, God, I can't. Like, this is all I ever wanted. It's finally about to happen. I can't walk away. And I told God straight up, like, I'm sorry. But I said, but if you do this through me, if you do it for me, like, take me away, like, work it in me to walk away from this, and I'll leave it alone. And I went back to the hotel because I was in a group, so I got two other guys looking at me like, hey, it's time to eat. And when I told them, like, I was sitting on the hotel bed and I was just crying. I was like, man, I can't do it. I can't do it no more. And they were like, what? Like, now you quit right now? They was mad.
I believe.
You know, but one homie was like furious. The other homie was like, I feel you, because I'm kind of dealing with the same issues in my heart. And so when I walked away, it was Jesus. Like, Jesus worked it in my soul to desire him more than the world. And now I look back and he gave me so much more than what I would have had already. So I'm so satisfied to be doing this for him right now.
It's amazing how powerful God's glory is.
Oh yeah.
You know, no matter